to my channel.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're getting ready to do some of the final work on the camper. I'm going to actually be installing the flooring. This is matrix flooring. It's a grayish color. It's like a laminate vinyl. I wanted to do that style instead of hardwood in here, obviously because it's a camper. This stuff is supposed to be more durable than like the regular laminate hardwood like you use in your house. A little bit more water resistant. I'm going to show you what I'm using to install. Basically, this is all the tools I'm going to use. You could use some kind of saw on this material if you wanted to, but actually this matrix product recommends you using a knife like this to cut the product down. And of course you want to measure it out, and they give you all the instructions on how to do this stuff. I've done homes, never actually used this material, but I really wanted this for the camper itself. I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, everybody, I'm going to try to get this on camera better than I did the last video. Sorry about that. I didn't really realize that I didn't have half of what I was doing on camera, but you got the idea of it. When you're installing flooring and stuff, those of you who've done it, you pretty much know how it goes. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to measure out your distance of what size board you want. Right now it's only like 50 degrees out. It's cold. So what I'm going to need to do is make sure when I install it, I leave some sort of gap on the end, just a little bit, not too much, because you're going to have it so the material can actually expand just a little bit. Ways you can save yourself a little bit of space on each end and make sure you have the room. You can stick like a quarter or pennies or whatever in there. That usually helps. I like to do things the rough way. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I'm going to go ahead and cut the first piece, get it measured out. Normally you would stagger them. My plan is to use as many solid pieces as I can. I just don't want to do that many cuts. Less cuts are better as far as I'm concerned. I'd rather have the solid panel here. Obviously I probably wouldn't do that in my house, and I haven't done that in my house. I've always staggered it, but today's gonna be the most simple process that I possibly can to do it. All right, this first piece I measured is going to be just above 42 inches long. I will measure that out with my tape measure in a minute. I am actually starting off with this end exposed. Here I'll be snapping into this. This is actually my starter piece, and then I'll be cutting this end off because this end here will not have to attach into anything. It's going to be right up against the front wainscoting that I installed. I'm going to measure this out and try to get it as straight as possible. This is the first piece I'm cutting, and I measured just above 42 inches on it. So, and that's with leaving my space just a little bit of room for movement in the panel when it gets hot and cold. I'll actually show you how easy it was. This was actually a lot easier to cut than the wainscoting was. I just made a few slices across here, snapped it right off on the edge of my workbench here. That piece came right off. That was pretty simple. With this camper is, of course, like the wainscoting, I can back the screw out to have that. It'll be a little bit tighter later on. It's not perfect, but let's say it's a lot better than what's on the floor right now. All right, I got 4 solid pieces I cut down to fit in there. Next part, I'm actually getting pretty lucky on this. This is going pretty straight. I'm not going to have to cut any weird angles around there, at least not yet. What I am going to have to do, I'm going to start with a solid piece here and then try to fit another piece in there. And then this is where I'll do my stagger, kind of like underneath where the table goes. But I'm going to have some nice solid pieces up here. I still will have to cut this end off of every board that goes along this side because it's not snapping into anything. So that's an easy job. These boards actually cut really easy with the knife, so I'm going to go ahead and work on that now. You see there is going to be kind of a little gap there. Not really worried about it too much. I could always throw a molding in there or do something, you know what I mean? I already like the way this is going so far. Looks good. Gonna keep going on. Of course, just for reference, folks, now you're not cutting this end off like I did up here, because this end, of course, is going to have to snap into this board. So this is where you get everything measured out where you want it, but you're going to be cutting from that end now. You're going to be cutting from the opposite end because this piece needs to snap into the board in front of it. So it's a little bit different than what we've been doing so far, but just a little FYI. All right, folks, we're getting next to the end. This is going to be the trickiest part here because now I have to cut a piece lengthwise to fit in here and to fit around that side. So it's going to be a little bit different here. This is going to be a little bit more work here, but it's been pretty easy. I mean, once I get past this corner, it's going to be pretty easy till I get right up to the end. Not a bad job though. I recommend changing the blades about every 4 cuts just to keep it nice and sharp. That's so far I haven't had a lot of waste. I mean, That's all the waste I have so far. All right, we are down to the final piece of the puzzle here, putting this floor in. I gotta think about it a little bit. I'd like to get it underneath this piece, but I don't know if this is glued in. I would have to take the storm door out to look behind this piece. Kind of a pain in the butt on this camper to do that, but all I got is this one last strip. I don't know if I can just wedge the piece underneath there. It is up in a little bit. If you remember when I did the speakers, I was able to wedge this underneath there, so be kind of nice to get a little close. I'm not too worried about these corners here. All right, I got the final piece of the puzzle in. Got it in there pretty straight. Got a little bit of a gap there so the floor can still move when it expands. Everything's in there pretty solid. I did take the door out. I didn't take this piece off though. That's a lot of work just to put in a little piece of flooring, so I didn't bother doing that. I think it came out pretty good though. This camper's come a long ways in a short amount of time. Getting close to winter here, and I only have one project left to do, and that's to redo those seats. Hopefully I'll get to do that this weekend. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in and watching these camper videos so far. Really appreciate it. I know a lot of people aren't watching it. A lot of people don't care about this stuff, but you know what? I do, and the few of you that actually watch all of my videos, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my camper videos. Almost done with these for the year. Going back to doing some more motorcycle and Maverick videos. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.